Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz, and I am joined by Danny Kelly and Craig Horlbeck, and we are going over waivers after Week 6. All the players you should pick up for your teams after Week 6, going into Week 7. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through emails and go through a bunch of stuff. But first, we're going to hit Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, has been fired by the Titans. I get it. They suck. They're kind of a joke. DK, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I'm curious. What is your immediate reaction to Brian Callahan being fired?
I mean, obviously it's a bummer because turnover for a rookie quarterback is probably never going to be a good thing for Cam Ward. But at the same time,
he had a lot of bad turnovers.
Yes, turnovers and coaching turnover is probably never good. But I mean, if you just watch the Titans, it was kind of the writing was on the wall. They were atrocious. So, I mean, I felt like the team just felt they needed to make a change, and it's been kind of like. There's been moments this year where people were kind of questioning whether how prepared Callahan was. And, there was that he didn't know the rules thing that happened for a couple of weeks ago where he thought what did he say? One elbow doesn't equal 2 feet or something like that, which was actually directly incorrect. But things like that, I think just kind of contributed to it. But at the end of the day, it's they're scoring 13 points a game and they're terrible.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying because it's at the end of the day, the Titans are a joke. And they're opening a new stadium in Nashville in 2 years. And Mike Vrabel, who they fired, is coming to town next week and was going to embarrass the shit out of them. And you can't be embarrassing because they have a lot of tickets to sell at this new stadium in 2 years. You cannot be a laughing stock. And the truth is, Will Levis was really embarrassing. And the pitch was Cam Ward, give me a quarterback, give me an offensive line, give me a special teams coordinator, I'll fix it. And they're worse this year than they were last year.
Yeah.
And I honestly, Craig, I think this is a true sense of the word. Like half we have tickets to sell business, half we're super embarrassed that Mike Vrabel's coming to kick the shit out of us. And we can't fire him after Mike Vrabel embarrasses us.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty embarrassing either way. I mean, having an interim coach coming in to face Mike Vrabel is also going to suck. I think the pitch to Titans fans is that this is the low point, and now we will be it. Now you can start turn a new chapter. You're probably going to have a top 3 pick in the draft. Hopefully you get a good coach in the offseason. And this is the beginning of a new era with Cam Ward. And you can bring in somebody. Mina Kimes tweeted Joe Brady, who calls plays for the Bills. Hopefully that this, I think what we've seen in the first 6 weeks is that the Titans are a disaster, but I think Cam Ward has something. And so hopefully you can find the right pair for him in the offseason, and then Cam Ward's career can begin.
Yeah. I mean, Cam Ward, Pro Football Talk had a thing this, after the game, Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle, said that they actually had a terrible week of practice entering the game and they lost this week. I just overall though, I can't stress enough how bad the Titans have been. They're awful. And I agree with what you're saying, Craig, where Cam Ward, obviously they're bad. They're a terrible team, but he hasn't looked worse than Jared Goff looked in 2016. And Jared Goff's had a perfectly great career.
There's still something about Cam Ward that gives me hope that he can work out if everything around him is better.
And look, big picture, 6 of the last 8 first overall quarterbacks, their coach was fired that season. And it's because the team usually sucks. And you look, and again, the Titans were just a joke last year with Will Levis. Think for a moment, take 2 seconds to remember how bad the Titans were last year with Will Levis. With that said, the Titans are worse this year. If you just look at this season and the idea that they're supposed to improve from the laughingstock last year, Tennessee this year, tied for last in points per game. Tennessee's last in yards per game. Tennessee's last in first downs per game. Tennessee's the only team in the NFL under 4 yards per play. Tennessee is dead last in expected points added per play. And I love this super advanced stat. Touchdowns. Tennessee's dead last in touchdowns.
Don't they have 3?
6. 6 in 6 games. The entire team has 6 touchdowns in 6 games. And I know this is a little simplistic. Mike Vrabel, the Patriots, have 18. So the former Titans coach has 3 times as many touchdowns. And the other one that I think is underrated in this, Daniel Jones. The Colts have 22 touchdowns this year. That is the division rival of the Titans. That is almost 4 times as many touchdowns for quarterback Daniel Jones that I am sure the Titans evaluated in free agency, and they probably informed the owner, that's not worth signing this guy, Daniel Jones. He's no good. And then the Colts sign him, and they're 5-1. And I think that also goes into it. And I also absolutely think the emotions of Mike Vrabel coming into town, or the optics, whatever you want to call it, are involved, because this is also the team that fired the GM John Robinson, who traded away A.J. Brown, while they were in first place in the division, because 3 days after A.J. Brown scored 2 touchdowns and had a $120 yards on the Titans, and then 3 days later, they fired the guy who traded away A.J. Brown. So, this isn't even the first time we've seen the Titans in the last 3 or 4 years make a really reactionary decision around a mistake that was embarrassing them when they played them.
My favorite Titans stat is that they have the most drives in the league and the least amount of red zone drives in the league. They lead the league with drives, 67, and they are dead last in red zone drives with 11. They are averaging less than 2 red zone drives per game.
The team, I think that is a perfect stat, Craig, and I keep thinking about even a team like the Jets, where how many times have we said the Jets have a terrible offense, but the garbage time, the Titans can't even move the ball in garbage time.
No.
Like, even when they're losing by 2, 3, 4 scores, they still can't move the ball.
They get past the 20-yard line 1.8 times a game. Think about that.
Yeah. I think overall, it felt like it was going in the wrong direction. There was no signs of improvement.
Literally, the ball was going in the wrong direction.
The ball constant. Again, Cam Ward just dropping the ball.
I mean, yeah. At first, in the early part of the season, I was like, okay, I'll give them some grace because they've been playing really, really tough defenses. But at this point, they showed no really signs of improvement. I don't know if there's any. I didn't study it close enough to really know this, but like it just didn't feel like it was a super creative offense. I don't really know exactly what Brian Callahan was bringing in terms of like play calling and helping his quarterback out and things like that. But in the NFL, if you don't show improvement pretty quickly, I think people are really apt to like just move on. There's a lot of teams that can turn it around pretty quickly, and they've done that in the past. And I think owners will look at that and be like, well, you know what? I've given this long enough. This is not working.
Heifetz, how would you grade the Titans on for a new coach coming in? Like, how would you grade them on how good of a team that you would be inheriting as a new coach? How bad is the situation? Is it an F? Is it a D plus? Is it a C? Does Cam Ward get you to a C?
It's a good question. I think it's probably. Are you grading on a curve of you're judging among teams that are generally open?
Yeah.
Because it's like, obviously, if Andy Reid retired, you're like, that's the greatest opening of all time. No. And I'm like, ignoring stuff like that.
If you look at like all of the new head coach teams over the past 5 years, where does the 2026 Titans rank in your mind?
It's probably a C plus B minus. Because it depends. It's really a Rorschach test in Cam Ward because I think you do see quarterbacks all the time succeed. I do think the Titans, they have investments at the very least on offense and the offensive line. I don't think it's perfect because I think you look at a bunch of teams recently that have changed hands. Sometimes you get lucky. It's not entirely luck, but like Jaden Daniels for Washington, clearly he's a special player. I don't want to diminish what the coaches have done there. But like Seattle, where you're like what Mike McDonald walked into, and you're like, wow, that was a weirdly good amount of talent and first-round picks that have been invested. Tennessee, better talent than you think along the defensive line. Like they have some harder spots that are able to fill the offensive line, but overall, it's not great. But to your point, TK, about the scheme and what they're running, there's a lot you can go into. Bill Barnwell had some good stuff on this week of really basic stuff where, yeah, the players aren't great. A lot of these rookie receivers aren't blocking well, but also even when you're schematically being matched up in ways that should be advantageous on paper or with X's and O's, where they're just outnumbering them in blockers, the guys are getting outplayed. Like there are screens where Callahan's designing up, and then Raiders cornerbacks are just fighting, like 2 guys are breaking through 3 blockers and just tackling a guy for a screen. And that's one of those where you kind of remember that every now and then, sometimes the secret in football is coaches are experts in schemes, but not necessarily technique. And
coaching.
And teaching. Yes. And that is one of those
like things. Coaches are not necessarily experts in coaching.
And I come back to, again, Brian Callahan, and there's so much that goes into it, but also his background was Peyton Manning's Broncos, into Matt Stafford at 28-31 in the Lions, into Joe Burrow. And admittedly, Joe Burrow was the number 1 pick and young, but also Burrow's great. And is Joe Burrow.
How do you attribute what he was bringing to the equation is essentially what you're saying. Like, he's been with really good quarterbacks. I think he came in as a pretty strong unknown. And again, this is kind of what I was saying. It's like, it just feels pretty clear this wasn't working. Maybe he'll get another chance at, he might not get another chance at head coach, but I mean, maybe he'll go back to being a coordinator at some point. But I mean, it was just pretty clear that the team wasn't responding to him.
Yeah.
And they just needed to go in and get some new leadership going because I think the vibes were just absolutely atrocious at this point.
So and you also know it was a reactionary decision from ownership, and that is ultimately where I want to place it at the feet. Is the Titans ownership has just been scrambling for years, and like firing Vrabel was a mistake, and I don't have a lot of confidence in that. And I do think this is blatantly a PR thing. And you know that because they didn't even have an interim coach announced when they put it out. They just kind of were like, we can't have Callahan lose to Vrabel. That's embarrassing. And like, that's not a good place to be coming from.
Callahan also lost the confidence of the fan base. Like the fan base was out.
Okay, so otherwise, going forward, we can get into it. So how much money do you think they pay Bill Belichick? What is Jordan Hudson going to do on Broadway in Nashville when they hire him?
They'll pay the $1 million buyout.
I know. It'd be the cheapest hire in the NFL. $1 million. Easy money.
It's just
Jordan Hudson makes that in a weekend.
If you remember how the bit was, if you were a GM, you would simply hire Bill Belichick. Do you still feel that you would do that?
I admit,
or have you lost confidence?
He seems old. It's
He's too old.
It's kind of like Pete Carroll and the Raiders. Like I kind of keep waiting for Kamala Harris to take over the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like at some level, it's just kind of like,
come on, Pete's the most energetic coach in the NFL right now. I feel like.
Yeah,
he's all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
He is old.
He's old. Yeah, the Titans can't do worse, can they? I mean, they're already last in every category. So,
true.
If anything, Belichick could have bottom 4 offense and go up, you know? So.
I mean, it's obviously a long season, but I mean, the Titans could have the number 1 pick in the draft again.
I have been thinking that. I agree. It is funny to think that. So,
when's the last time a team had back-to-back number 1 picks?
It's happened more than you think. I think the Browns, it didn't used to happen, but then I think the Jags and the Browns have done that recently, or the Panthers.
Did the Jags go Trevor Lawrence and then Trayvon Walker?
Oh, now I feel like my memory is failing me. This just happened recently, though. Wait,
the Jags did it.
The Jags did it. Lawrence and then Trayvon Walker, because that was the Urban Meyer year.
Yeah.
And then the Browns also did it with Myles Garrett and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, so like
to my knowledge, before that, it was like quite rare.
The 2017-18 Browns. Sorry, did you just say that? I was reading this. 1999-2000 Browns. 94-95 Bengals.
I mean, the Jets are winless, so technically they have the number 1 pick right now. But they'll be Titans are going to be right there in it.
I have a quick question before we move on here, because look, this is Brian Callahan was hired ostensibly because he's an offensive mind. He'd helped mold quarterbacks in the past and blah blah blah. And now it feels like the culture and whatever, that whole like team building aspect of it is really where everything kind of fell apart. Do you think they should hire some offensive guru, or another different one, or do you think they should go like culture coach, hire Bill Belichick, whatever? Where do you lean on this?
I feel like we've learned that the best case scenario is you get Andy Reid, you get Ben Johnson, you get the play caller who can, get the Kyle Shanahan, you get the Sean McVay. Obviously, you want the combo of everything, but like you should get a head coach who can call plays, right? That's like the
I think goal.
So. My very unsexy answer is it depends. Like
Sure.
This isn't just a football thing. This is every organization. This is just people. People swing back and forth and want the opposite of the leadership that just is perceived to have failed them. And so whether that is in football, that's discipline, which when it works is cool. And when it doesn't work, the guy's an asshole. And then they want a player's coach and back and forth. And then the other axis is offense versus defense. And literally one of the reasons they bailed on Mike Vrabel was because Amy Adams Strunk, who owns the team, was frankly upset that Matt LaFleur had done so well in Green Bay, and that Matt LaFleur was up there with like John Madden, a winning percentage, and then they get rid of Rodgers, and then Jordan Love and them still make the playoffs, and the Titans went 5-11 or whatever, and they was angered that they had let LaFleur, and the idea of why didn't we just hire Matt LaFleur as the head coach? Like that, they were upset that they had let LaFleur walk.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? They hire Brian Callahan to try to be LaFleur, and guess what? Now you want a Vrabel, don't you? And so the answer is, sure, have an eye for those archetypes, but when you start looking for something specifically, you just find it in everyone you talk to, as opposed to just paying attention and being like, who's actually available? Because Vrabel was clearly the best candidate on the market, or along with Ben. I guess maybe not the best. Ben Johnson is also
Ben
exciting,
Johnson.
but you start with the pool of candidates, and then you say what is actually available and who could, because there are different ways to win. But I think owners all the time laser in on, I need this kind of guy, and then wish cast that someone available could be that person, as opposed to just paying attention and being like, who's actually in front of me and what are their odds of being this?
DK, Clint Kubiak, you nervous?
I know. I mean, honestly, right now he's probably a hot name.
Yeah.
He will be. But here, I guess that's my main point, is like, I'm a little worried the Titans are going to go and hire a defensive coach to reset the culture, blah, 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 get everybody back on board. And then you're going to have Cam Ward have 3 coordinators in the next 4 years, and it's going to be very difficult for him and whatever. But like, at the end of the day, they just need to find the right guy.
I will just say, who doesn't call plays? Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, but those guys are so hard to find. And there's a million guys that have been hired to change the culture and just are not good at it.
I think we can move on after this. It's interesting because, again, the Dolphins, I feel like Mike McDaniel's going to get fired soon eventually. And it's worth saying, at some point, though, with the coordinator thing, that I forget the exact stat, but the idea that I think every single team has swapped out its play caller offensive coordinator in the last 3 years, not counting like the Chiefs, Reed's doing it, or Sean Payton, the Broncos. Every play calling offensive coordinator has swapped out. None of them have been there more than 3 years, to a point where it's like, haven't all the good ones probably been sniped? Like, at this point, they don't have any experience doing it. Like, how, you know what I mean? It's like you're going to build an entire culture and run game day on top of play calling. I'm like, part of me wonders if it's just kind of been tapped and you need to let people sit there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Andy Reid wasn't even a coordinator. He was a quarterback's coach. No one knows what the fuck's going to happen. Anything else on Titans coaching? Anything before we go into waivers here?
Nope.
Okay. We're going to hit Monday Night Football on Power Hour this week. So we're going to do that on Wednesday. So if you're looking for a recap of the Bears game and the Bills game, then we will go through that on Wednesday. But right now we're going through waivers after week 6. And reminder, email us questions for Fantasy Court also for Wednesday's episode. Email us trivia questions if you want. So yeah, we're going to go through waivers. And again, going to go position by position. Going to give our top pick from the position. If we pick the same guy, we'll do a little trivia tiebreaker. It's not that complicated. You'll figure it out as we go along. Teams that are on bye this week, Bills and Ravens. Bills, actually, I guess they're playing tonight. I don't know the deal. Ravens obviously need a bye as much as any team in recent memory needs a bye. Not a huge issue for fantasy, honestly. Like just Bills, right. Ravens. Like I feel like weirdly for two on paper good teams. Not a massive letdown for fantasy with bye weeks, but there were a bunch of injuries. We'll go through all that. But yeah, we'll start with running backs here. This one's kind of probably an easy way to start. But DK, number 1 running back pick after week 6.
Yeah. Remember last week when we were waffling between Hassan Haskins and Kimani Vidal? Well, it was Kimani Vidal was the one you really wanted in this one. He was the big winner this weekend, and he's still rostered in just 27% of Yahoo leagues. He had 18 carries, 124 yards, plus 3 catches. He played the vast majority of the snaps. He looked the best. I think, early on, they were kind of switching him back and forth. It was like they were going to see who kind of got the hot hand and run with it, and it was definitely Vidal, sorry. So he would be my obvious clear number 1. And it sounds, now there's reporting coming out that Omari and Hampton might not even be ready once the 4 weeks of IR are over. So.
I think he's out for longer.
There's also reports that the Chargers are looking at acquiring a running back.
Right.
I think Hampton's out for longer, and that makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One, because Vidal, rushing him back makes no sense.
Vidal. I can't say his name. Vidal.
Honestly, he doesn't listen to the show. Like, it's just say whatever. I'll try to get it right.
Yeah.
It's okay. Kimani. But yeah, Kimani Vidal, Vidal, if you spell it to find him. If he's available, he's definitely the guy. 120 yards. He's and also the important part, they were winning, he got a lot of carries and the Chargers won, but the flips, and I know they had to come back, but I think the fact that he's getting the starts and the carries, I also think if the Chargers are losing by a lot, he's the pass catching guy. I do think that he is quote unquote game script proof. I don't think it's necessarily like a Woody Marks for the Texans, where if the Texans are winning, Nick Chubb will just get the ball. I think Vidal will get the ball quite a bit. Yeah. Maybe a hot hand thing, but I think he's going to be the guy.
It sucks that to this day, we cannot figure out through any reporting who will be getting the football in a game a week before it happens.
Well, they actively hide it. It's like Shanahan when McCaffrey got hurt and Jordan Mason, they were like, when did you find out? And he said Friday, and they flipped out that they don't want to tell people. I overthought that Vidal didn't make the opening day roster practice squad and Haskins was third string. And I overthought that because Vidal just looks better as a player. And I remembered sometimes when you have a Hampton and Najee that they're kind of just thinking about special teams and stuff. And they're like, not actually counting about your running back skill for that third string spot. And I wish I had remembered that. Down the first two guys, it's just a running back thing again. It's almost like a reset.
There was also reporting from a couple different sources that it was going to be Haskins as the next man up. So
it was supposed to be Haskins starting, and they didn't start. Vidal did.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's funny that impossible. Like everybody had decided it was Haskins, and of course it wasn't. And maybe it'll probably end up being Haskins next week. But the same thing happened in Arizona this week. Adam Schefter reported that Bam Knight would start the game, and he didn't. Michael Carter played started the whole first series. It's just funny.
That happened last year with Ramondre. There was a game where Gerard Mayo said, I forget who was who, but he basically said like Ramondre would start and then he didn't, or I forget who it was. But it happens all the time.
Coaches lie about this shit. It's weird.
We try. They love lying or just being wrong.
It's nice to know that even Adam Schefter is just dead wrong.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Brian Callahan, Schefter was on with Pat McAfee today, and Schefter is right like 98% of the time. So like, don't take this like I'm slandering him, but he was at, I think 1 hour before the firing happened. He was like, I'm not hearing anything about this. If I had to say right now, I think he's safe for the time being or whatever. And then like 1 hour later, he was fired. It's just like, man.
He also reported that the Steelers are looking for a wide receiver.
They had one.
I could tell you right now who it's going to be.
Jacoby Myers.
Oh, maybe.
That's interesting. Who did you think, Heifetz?
Alan Lazard.
Oh,
He's not even playing for the Jets.
That would suck. I don't want that.
Lazard.
Well, it's because you don't. Here's the what do the Steelers want? They're running all these. You were just saying on the Sunday show, blockers. Lazard is huge.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of tiny guys.
Already knows everything Rodgers needs to do, where to be him. You don't have to train him up to play with Rodgers. He knows probably how to play with Rodgers better than anyone on the roster.
He's washed.
Huge.
He's not that good.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's the biggest receiver. He's the biggest.
I want guys who are good.
You want something sexy.
First, how do you know he's not good? He's been playing with Justin Fields.
He's not good. Alan Lazard, it's over for Alan Lazard.
He looked fine with Rodgers last year.
I'd rather have Jacoby
Craig,
Myers.
Unfortunately, I think Heifetz might be onto something here.
Oh, I don't think he's incorrect that Lazard is, probably the top candidate.
I'm
just saying
Lazard's
I would rather
washed.
have Jacoby Myers.
I think Lazard's like one of those little fish, remora, that swim underneath the shark. I don't think he's going to look good with anybody except Aaron Rodgers, but he knows how to do this one thing where he eats the meat between the teeth, and he's good at that. So he can hang out with Rodgers. He's like the guy who stands behind Rodgers as a movie villain in the thing. He doesn't have any
symbiotic relationship.
I have higher hopes.
Exactly.
I wanted to get somebody better, but Lazard would be fine.
Anyway, let's do the Vidal.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Showdown time.
Kimani Vidal showdown time. Gong.
It is the right. I have to do my thing. It is the Kimani Vidal showdown time. This is actually a pretty good one. Like Vidal is
the stakes are high,
and will be starting probably for a month unless the Chargers acquire somebody. But
we were talking a lot about nicknames and cities, and we started talking about bridges. And Brian emailed him. Brian,
B-Bone.
Brian,
he said Portland's Bridge City, and we're like, Pittsburgh has more bridges. So Brian said,
they say it's Bridge City, but no one uses it, kind of deal. I think.
Well, that's a whole. I have emails about that too. Brian said, how many bridges are in Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Never been there.
Well, with the point being, has the most bridges in the world of any city. Is the claim.
Any city in the world?
In the world.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I know there's 3 rivers. At least.
So it's probably at least like 3 bridges.
At least 3.
Probably 6.
Let's double it. Yeah.
Minimum 6.
Okay.
I have my answer. You guys ready?
Same. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. 90.
42.
I said 90. What'd you say, DK?
Fuck. I said 200.
The answer is...
I said 42.
Says a lot.
The answer is 446.
Wow.
Whoa. Just goes to show the dumbest answer usually is the best answer.
Yeah.
Is a lot of bridges.
400 bridges in one city? That's too many.
Bridges are amazing to me. I'm amazed by every bridge I see.
Bridges are wild.
Why is it too many?
Too many bridges. Do you think anyone was just like adding bridges for fun?
Yeah,
like,
you know actually,
what? We got 399. I think we need one more.
Of everything,
I guess they're trying to avoid traffic.
I feel like there's never been an unnecessary bridge.
I agree. No one just built a bridge for fun. Seems super hard.
They went a bridge too far.
We're gonna get. The fact
guys, stop. This is all water under the bridge. Let's move on.
The fact that phrase exists, DK, bridge too far means you know what? Maybe he's right. Anyway, DK gets Kimani Vidal?
I get it. Yeah.
All right.
Bridge too far is in reference to Operation Market Garden in World War II, I believe.
Like they blew up one too many bridges?
I think they went too far or something.
Quite
that.
literally.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to watch that movie again.
Okay.
It's a movie, I believe.
I learned about World War II through Call of Duty 2 and 3, as you know.
Yeah,
used to read books and movies, then it's video games. I know, I was there.
Market Garden.
Anyway, I'm going to take Bam Knight, running back from Arizona. And also, if you're on Sleeper, I think he's under Zonovan.
Yeah, yes. Zonovan Knight.
And so, with a Z. So searching that might literally does change depending on the platform.
Knight with a K.
Knight with a K. James Conner's an injury reserve. Trey Benson's on IR. Michael Carter is probably lead back, but I do think Bam Knight. I mean, Amari Demercado has an ankle injury. I know that this is all a little scary. The Cardinals' offense per set, maybe they fall back to earth. I know it's not ideal, but I do think there's a bunch of flawed options here. I'm not going to.
There's not a lot of good ones.
Undoubtedly great, but I do kind of just think Bam Knight's good, and I do think in the 2-minute drill, I do think he's going to be passing down back. I admit that as if Demercado's like fine, but maybe that would be a concern. But I don't know. I kind of like Bam Knight the way he plays. I like his name's Bam. I won't pretend like our other running backs might not score him, but I will go with Bam Knight in Arizona among these horrific options.
This is horrible. I don't think there is anybody who I would start next week who's left. Like I could say Tajay Spears, the 1B in Tennessee, but it's just horrible. I would not recommend it. I would rather, if you have Derrick Henry or James Cook on bye, I don't know, figure something else out. I don't think these two are like Tajay Spears or Kyle Monungai. Or like if you want to add somebody who's out there, I would go add like Kendre Miller or Brian Robinson or somebody who could be a very valuable stash if the starter were to go down. It's
so brutal. So we are doing this for Monday Night Football. Obviously, if DeAndre Swift got hurt in any way, Kyle Monungai is probably there. But if Kyle Monungai the only thing I'd watch is if Kyle Monungai gets more snaps or play in this Washington Bears game after the bye, I'd be interested. But yeah, it's brutal. Kendre Miller is getting more snaps for the Saints, but it's like, okay, Alvin Kamara says he doesn't even want to trade and wants to retire as a Saint. And it's like, okay, well, then that's not good because Kendre Miller's not going to get the pass catching work as long as Kamara's healthy. And so Taysom Hill's there stealing goal line work. That sucks. Tajay Spears, how many red zone trips did the Titans have this year, Craig?
11.
Yeah, that's not cool. So yeah, there's not great options.
The other one to throw out here is a stash, but Isaiah Davis for the Jets in case Breece Hall gets traded.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of handcuffs now.
It's it's frankly a lot of guys on bad offenses that in theory, if something happens to the starter, like Titans, Tajay Spears, it's like the Jets with Isaiah Davis, the Saints with Kamara. And I'm like, these are bad offenses. That's I'm telling you, it's not exciting.
Brian Robinson, 35% rostered.
That's a good one because
he has insane upside if McCaffrey
wild upside,
and he's probably getting enough touch. That is probably the best.
He gets like 5 carries a game. He's like the clear backup.
He's probably as likely to end up with a random touchdown as any of these guys. So that's, honestly, Brian, that's a good, just take Brian Robinson.
And with how much they're leaning on McCaffrey, I mean, McCaffrey's getting the shit kicked out of him every single week.
Yeah. We're going to keep rolling here, but first, this episode is brought to you by IKEA. When you're hosting on game day and it comes to cooking, you want a kitchen that everyone there will be a fan of, no matter what your kitchen dreams are. IKEA has products and solutions to help, from kitchen remodels to smart new cutlery. Whatever the size of your kitchen dream and budget, you can bring it to life with high quality, expertly designed, and innovative products from IKEA. Visit IKEA.us/dreamkitchen to learn more. Dream the possibilities. Speaking of guys getting the shit kicked out of them every week, receivers, Puka Nacua is injured, and it's one of those where they try to spin it as a good thing, where they're like, hey, it's not season ending, we're thrilled, but it sounds like he has a high ankle sprain, which, I mean, I don't think of as great news. It was weird because
day to day.
Also, he's a maniac. I know. They're playing in London this week, and McVay's already like, we're not ruling him out for London. I'm like, dude, let the man rest.
Well, that's some shit they say. Sometimes I'm like, oh, they're saying this to mess with the other team. And I'm like, they're half saying it because the guy doesn't want to be ruled out in his own head.
They have a bye the week after. If they were smart, they would let it.
If they play Puka with an ankle sprain this week, when they could just get him 3 weeks of rest, basically, right? I'm doing math right. It's just do that. Yes. So I think Puka won't play this week. So
also, like the difficulty of going abroad, there was a good piece in ESPN about how horrible of a time Minnesota had playing 2 games out there in a row, going from Ireland and then to London. It was like, they're just like the commute to get to the practice field, the conditions of the practice field, not being able to bring like the full medical staff. Like
you're away from your family.
Yeah, it was just like, all the players, nobody was sleeping well. It sounded really tough to do 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, probably shouldn't do that.
That's a lot.
So with that said, if you need a receiver this week, DK, number 1 receiver you'd add off waivers entering week 6. Sorry, after week 6, entering week 7.
Yeah, I think it's still Kendrick Bourne. He was my top choice last week, I think. And going into this week again, Juwan Jennings is battling
5 broken ribs.
5 broken ribs, a high ankle sprain, and a low ankle sprain. I assume on different feet, but I don't know for sure.
You know what's so funny about that? That's one of them where I actually understand why players lie about injuries. Not just for everyone in the world knowing about your health, but would you want all these linebackers knowing you have 5 broken ribs?
Right.
As if they don't have enough incentive to hit you in the goddamn gullet.
Yeah.
So he's not 100%. He played a bunch, but he obviously doesn't look 100%. I don't know if Pearsall is close to coming back. They are probably going to take it pretty slow with him. So right now, and by the way, Kendrick Bourne just has great chemistry with Mac Jones. Like Mac Jones clearly trusts him. He's gone over 100 yards the last 2 weeks. 142 yards actually exactly in each of the last 2 weeks. So he to me seems like the clear top guy to get on the waiver wire. There's a bunch of players here for receivers that I'm like feel okay about, but Kendrick Bourne I would definitely feel good about plugging into my lineup this week.
I agree. It's Kendrick Bourne.
I 100% agree. I mean, he's a top 5 receiver, I think, the last 2 weeks. I mean, at some point, just pick him up. It's simple. And if he's available, maybe he's not available. People are like, yeah, it's obvious. But if he's there, Kendrick Bourne is absolutely the answer.
All right.
So
that means it's time for the Kendrick Bourne showdown time. All right.
Gong's
I got to
the only
bounce
thing.
back here after that bridge debacle.
You keeping track, right?
I am, yeah.
Cool.
Gong's the only thing gives me peace. This one's from Dylan.
D-Bone.
In honor, this is in honor of Craig
Dylan.
guessing a random guy's name on the show is Ed. And then DK just completely not caring at all.
Shit on me.
I apologize.
All right, well, he's not making fun of you. He's just saying in honor of that moment where DK was like, a lot of guys named Ed. It's the 50s. They had like 5 names.
Oh, God.
Dylan said, according to the Social Security Administration,
Oh my God.
where does Edward rank among most popular boy names in the 1930s?
DK, out of principle, you have to say
30s.
top 5.
Wait, yeah. What is the number we're guessing here?
So it's boy names, not all
what
names.
rank?
The rank.
Yeah, where does it rank among the most popular boy names in the
I feel
30s?
like if DK guesses any higher than 5, he's a coward.
I agree with that.
Any higher or lower?
Higher.
1,
Oh,
2, 3,
I-
4, or 5 should be your answers.
Highest
Yes,
is 1 is what I was thinking, but yes, okay. The
Then
highest rank.
You should be guessing between 1 and 5 or your
All right, well, let me do what I want to do, but you're right. I probably should.
It'd be funny though. You'll probably be right. Then
Well,
You'll
I
have
feel
the
like the
last
reason this question was asked is because I'm an asshole. So,
You're not
Well,
an
yeah.
asshole. You're the nicest guy I know.
well, okay, I was being an asshole. How
You were
about
doing
that?
Heifetz cosplay. Think of it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
I actually think Kai's pretty nice.
Kai's a nice guy.
Kai
Kai's
is
nicer than
100%
me.
nicer
Yeah.
than me.
Kai's a
Yeah.
nice guy. That's actually true.
Kai's nice. Okay, I guess I have a guess.
All right, cool. 3, 2, 1.
19.
Oh, we all went high. Damn, I just thought it'd be funny to say
Probably
6.
low. Fuck.
What'd you say, DK?
I said 4.
Damn,
4.
Craig is
You
a
said
huge-
6. I said
So
19.
Craig just gets basically between like 11 and 1,000. That's pretty well
of
played
all
by him.
names.
It's pretty well played by
I want to get
Craig.
the rank here.
Oh my God. The answer is, if you guys could change your name, what would you change it to?
I don't
It
know.
sounds like you're gonna say it's
Well,
like
it's like-
top 5.
Is it not that? Is it not
It's
that popular?
Edward is 12th.
12.
Oh,
So I actually win this one.
you barely.
I am
barely
6
by
away, Craig's
1.
7 away. Yeah.
Ugh.
That is really funny. So
Can we? Do you have the list? I'd be curious.
Oh, do
What
you
the
wanna-
top names
in the 30s,
1930s were.
Robert, this is really boring
Yeah.
actually. Robert, James, John, William, Richard, Charles, Donald, George, Thomas, Joseph, David, Edward, Ronald, Paul, Kenneth, Frank, Ray, Jack.
Which direction? Just give me
That
the
was
top
number
5.
1.
What direction are we going in?
Number 1 was
Robert
Robert.
was
number
number
2 is James.
Oh.
Number 3 is John. It's the ones you think.
It's just like Robert James. Yeah.
John, William, Richard. Anyway.
Gotta say, it
I
kind of
take-
makes me feel like I'm a little bit right.
It was 11th.
Edward is.
should double
it's up
down.
There. It's
Yeah,
up
it wasn't
there.
hard
No,
guessing
I'm not
over
doubling
Craig.
down.
You're
I'm
right.
Anyway, I
Sorry,
can't find
I-
Kendrick on here, but Kendrick is my answer. I go with Kendrick Bourne. Craig, you're second.
Yucky. I'm gonna do. Is Trey Tucker still on the board?
Yeah.
This guy's good every week, so I'm gonna stick with Trey.
Oh wow, he's
Who's
up
solid.
there. Damn, I like that.
He's the number 1 receiver on the team. And to your point, I don't think Myers goes to the Steelers, but I don't think Jacoby Myers is on.
He requested
The
a trade
Raiders.
this offseason. Yeah,
I don't think he's on the
Bowers-
Raiders in 3 weeks. So I
Brock
think
Bowers, I don't think he's gonna play again. I think he's gonna be out for a little bit.
they're going to hold him out for at least 3 more weeks. Yeah.
They're just
But
protecting him.
I think Trey Tucker's a really good answer.
All right, so I would definitely agree with Craig's choice of Trey Tucker. If he's out there on your waiver wire, to go get him. Josh Downs for the Colts, if he's out there, I think he's a solid option
He's
going
been
forward.
good.
He's 20% target rate in the last 2 games. I think he's a really good player. The problem is he just doesn't play a ton of snaps. He's only 50 to 60% snap rate. But right now he's got a good connection with Daniel Jones. And then as we get into the more speculative guys, these are lower rostered guys. Jordan Whittington for the Rams is ostensibly the Puka replacement if Puka misses this next game. He played 92% of the snaps for the Rams this last week. 3 catches, 23 yards, nothing to write home about, but I think he's the guy that will sort of get the replacement snaps for Puka. I think I'm going to go with Tez Johnson. This one is kind of a leap of faith because we don't really know how the rotation for the Buccaneers is going to shake out, but it sounds like Mike Evans has a chance to get back, but Godwin is out next week. The coach already said that. Egbuka is hurt. He's not going to be back. It's almost impossible to come back on
Such a bummer.
Hamstring injury. I know. And so Tez and this other guy, Cameron Johnson, were the 2 main guys to see a significant snap increase after Egbuka went out last week. So, I just like Tez. I personally just think he's a good player. So I'm gonna roll with Tez here. He had a team high 21 routes last week. Sterling Shepard is another option if you want maybe a higher floor option for the Buccaneers. And so that would probably be my choice. Elik Iomanor for the Titans. I said yesterday I don't want anything to do with the Titans offense, but he is ostensibly now the number 1 receiver for that team because Calvin Ridley is set to miss time. Zay Jones for the Cardinals. With Marvin Harrison missing time, Jones caught five balls for 79 yards this last week. And then Kayshon Bouttie's still out there for the Patriots. He was quiet the last few weeks, but went off with 2 touchdowns this last week. The other guy, and we haven't seen the Bears play yet, but Luther Burden might be a good time to stash him. Post buy, rookie bump, all that stuff. We could see them start to kind of transition him into the offense more going forward. So those are some options. I think I'll just go with Tez Johnson, but it's just a flyer at this point.
Luther Burden certainly has the most upside, I would say, of all these guys in terms of who could be like a household name in week 12. It's probably Luther Burden.
1 week, and the flip side of that is if it's 1 week and you actually just need a guy for 1 week, I agree with you. Get Jordan Whittington for the Rams because he actually played the first half. He actually played the whole. Shout out Nate Yonke, does great stuff at PFF with the usage and snap rates, and he actually. When Puka Nacua was hurt, Jordan Whittington was already part of 11 personnel and all the 3 receiver sets because Tutu Atwell also has a hamstring. So
that's right. Yeah.
So when Puka Nacua got hurt, Jordan Whittington's definitely going to play a lot because he was literally on the field at 21 of 22 snaps before Puka was injured. You never know exactly where a ball gets distributed. Whenever it's not like a running back, it's not as easy. But I think Whittington. I also just think he looks good when he plays. Mm-hmm. So I think, and again, he has a bye in week 8 too. So that's a 1 week stopgap. Tight end. This one's kind of easy. DK, number 1 tight end you would add after week 6.
Harold Fannin for the Browns. 7 catches, 81 yards. David Njoku went out with a knee injury. Fannin already was the tight end 14 in target rate on the year before Njoku got hurt. And obviously now that could increase if he sees more snaps and more time. Dylan Gabriel, I think he threw 52 passes in this game. That's not going to happen every week, probably, hopefully, or else the Browns are doing horrifically. But when he plays, Gabriel, it's a lot of checkdowns. It's a lot of stuff under 10 yards. It's a lot of quick, get rid of the football quickly. He's not pushing the ball down the field. And this is the kind of area where Fannin is going to make his mark. And so I think he has a chance to be one of the top receivers on this Browns team. Obviously, that's not like a super inspiring thing to say, but he has also he's also forced 11 tackles missed per PFF, which is most among tight ends and receivers. So he's out there making guys miss. He's good. He has good hands. He's probably not going to explode for a ton of yards, but he could be in PPR and half PPR a pretty valuable pick.
Yeah, I would take Fannin too. What do you think, Craig?
Yep.
Okay. Harold Fannin showdown time.
All right. It is the Harold Fannin Jr. showdown time. Give me something good, Heifetz. Give me something good.
This is from Redact. Well, I could give you one about something we talked about recently. Well, yeah, I kind of want to trade it. Now I'm wondering if this is good enough for you.
Well, I don't know what it is. So
we can't answer that.
Only you can answer that.
Yeah.
This is from Redacted.
Redacted.
They didn't redact their name, but I did it for them because they start with, I work in broadcasting for multiple networks.
Oh.
So every time you guys bring up something you see during
Chris
a game,
Collinsworth.
Sorry. This is from
Tom Brady?
Chris
Brady.
C.
Tommy
B.
Phil?
Every time you guys bring up something you see during a game and start guessing what happened, I find myself screaming into the ether. Redacted writes, it gets me every time you mention the cameras on the goal line thing, where I keep screaming.
That's mainly Heifetz, for the record.
Well, I'm like, they have all these things where they're like, trying to figure out if a guy crossed the plane and the camera's like 4 yards offset. And I'm like, how could we have ever known that you would need a camera on the goal line? How could we have predicted this? So Redacted
I feel like if I was building my own broadcast network, if I was like going to shoot my first NFL game, one of like the first 5 cameras I set up would be at the goal line.
I actually did get an answer to why they don't do this, which someone else who works for a broadcast networks emailed in and said that their belief was that it's actually because there are stationary camera stations, obviously, in the stadium that are built, and they were obviously all the stadiums are older, and they did not build them for this world of crazy instant replay. They're positioned around putting the game on television, but selling seats.
Yeah.
And frankly, it would just be really expensive to reposition the cameras because you have to move them into an area where there's currently seats, and it would just be a lot. And so they just don't care enough to do it because it's not like NBC or Fox owns the stadiums. Obviously, you have to convince an owner to move a fucking camera station like 10 yards. They're like, no, they don't want to do that. So they were like, that's kind of the answer.
That's funny.
Can't have a guy with like a phone
I was
down
like,
there?
throw it on a fucking tripod. What are we talking about?
And they made
iPhones
the point
are
also
surprisingly high definition these days.
They made the point about the Booger Mobile. I know. Meanwhile, baseball's
The
doing
Booger
games
Mobile.
and whatever.
Literally throw that thing on sticks.
Anyway.
And we'll be fine.
So with this said, he says every time I talk about this, it makes him mad. Or she, actually, I don't know. So Redacted says, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football have more money, so more cameras than an early window game from like the Titans and the Jaguars. So with that said, the trivia question is, how many cameras are on Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football broadcast? I've taken the average of the 3 shows. What is the average number of cameras between Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and Monday Night Football?
Heifetz, I feel like you know this. Don't you know the answer to how many cameras are at the Super Bowl? Haven't you said that before?
It's funny you said that. I'm writing down my answers now ahead of time when I guess so that I don't get accused of cheating.
Well, you know
anymore.
the answer to this question, right?
I think I know the answer of how many cameras are at the Super Bowl, and I based my guess off that. And I'm close, but by no means not like I can. So
Heifetz shows an answer, a question that he knows the answer to.
No. I almost want to tell you how far I'm off, but then I know that'll throw you off the scent.
What do you mean? You know the answer?
I wrote down my answer, and then
you looked up the answer.
Pulled the answer. Well, he has the answer in the email, so I guess, and then I read the answer, so that I can do the show.
Did he hide the answer?
It's some people put it all the way at the bottom. They put like a bunch of like lines lower, and then some people put it in white, and then some people try to put it in white, and put it in gray. So it varies.
Yeah, it's not a perfect system.
We're working on it.
What can we do? It's like the cameras at the goal line. It's hard to figure out.
They're like,
Costs
God,
too
it's
much
trivia.
money.
Like, just what is so hard about this? How could you possibly anticipate that there would be answers?
When we get in prime time, we're gonna up the ante here. All right, I think I got an answer in my head.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
40.
16. Oh,
there you go. Look at this. This is what. So I think the Super Bowl has 200 cameras. So I went with 60.
200?
Guess what? The answer is fucking 41. So there you go.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot.
No reaction, Craig. Craig almost nails it to the number after accusing me of cheating. He has no reaction whatsoever.
Well, after the Ed thing, I'm gun shy now to gloat.
It was obvious. How could you not know that, Craig? How did you not know that there's 40? I can't believe you were one off. That's embarrassing. It's really easy.
After the Ed incident.
I'm nervous.
The Ed saga.
Craig, that was incredible. How did you do that?
Amazing.
Thank you, DK.
It's crazy. There's so many numbers.
You're extremely smart. I guess way low.
Fannin is mine, which means Heifetz said 60?
Yeah. I said 18.
Yeah, I guess I'm second. I will take AJ Barner for the Seahawks because there are a lot of slop tight ends you can take. And if he's available in your league, I just like AJ Barner.
I don't think it's the worst tight end week, I gotta say.
I just at the end of the day, I just maintain what I said the last couple of weeks, which is all these guys are lottery picks. The Seahawks offense is good. Sam Darnold looks to him in the red zone. And again, last week's a good example. Like he didn't score, but he has 3 catches, 71 yards. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They're all a lot of the other tight ends are on offenses that I actually struggle to watch. Like I actually get like antsy.
I would say I got 2 names here that are on offenses that I actually think are enjoyable to watch.
Right. So DK, who's your third pick here?
Okay. At the risk of picking 2 Buccaneers here, Cade Otton for the Buccaneers plays a lot of snaps. We have multiple options. Hurt when last year, I think it was last year when they had multiple receivers that went down. Cade Otton was like the number 1 tight end in fantasy.
You're right.
So I am going to go with Cade Otton, even though I don't think that's going to happen again. I don't think he'll be the number one guy. But this last week, he had 26% target rate, 5 catches, 51 yards. He plays a ton of snaps, and he has chemistry with Baker Mayfield. He's going to be out there. He's going to be a big option for them. So
that's a good pick, and you could very easily argue that I made a mistake taking Barner over Otton, because not only that, the Bucs' next 2 games are the Lions and the Saints, and so I mean those are pretty scoreable games. So yeah, I mean Cade Otton, honestly, maybe a better pick than AJ Barner.
But I don't mind the AJ Barner one. He had a really big play this last week. He's been really utilized in the red zone. Michael Mayer for the Raiders. As long as Brock Bowers is out, I think he's bankable. He could play him every week. He had 30% target rate this week, 5 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown. He was a really good pass catcher in college. I think he's basically just been buried because Bowers is here. And
he was a top 40 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, and he was gone from the team for a while last year. So he's kind of flown under the radar, but he's a very talented pass catcher. And as long as Bowers is out, I think they're going to utilize him. So he would be my other choice there.
I think you guys are right that by the standards of tight end, this is an unusually good week. You're right. I was probably being a little harsh when I'm talking about bad offenses, because you're right. These are they're just frankly like better situations than we're used to, because Cade Otton and the Bucs is good. Michael Mayer, Raiders are tough, but I agree. Weirdly good quality.
I think you could also toss out Oronde Gadsden, the tight end for the Chargers, who has been pretty good. He had 7 catches, 68 yards this week. Like, he has beat out Tyler Conklin. Disley came back this week, and Gadsden still had the week he did. So I do think he's kind of trending in the right direction.
Yeah, you guys are right. I was probably negative because I was thinking about like Taysom Hill and Mason Taylor, and I'm like, I hate the Saints and Jets offense. But you're right. These are pretty good options, and also I think they're widely available. I think that's the other thing. Like,
didn't you take you took Taysom last week and he scored a touchdown?
He did score. He had my little weird on Taysom Hill. 1 touch, 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? Remember we argued about Mason Taylor, Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
Taysom Hill touchdown, 1 yard. You know how many yards Mason Taylor had? 2.
You were right.
It's like no, I'm saying it's the exact opposite of when Craig and I argued about Hunter Henry and Mark Andrews, and they ended up number 1 and number 2.
I didn't think
this was like the opposite. They had 3 yards combined, those 2 people.
Yeah, I didn't think the Jets were going to have negative 10 yards passing. I didn't think they were going to be that bad. I was wrong.
But no, this is a good week to reset a tight end. Fannin, Barner, Otton,
also
Michael Mayer. Those are all good options.
Fant for the Bengals with Gesicki out an extended period of time. He might get more snaps. He's another option for you.
Okay. So those are the tight ends. All right, cool. So quarterbacks real quick. I think this is easy. If you need a quarterback, there's Jaxson Dart if he's available. Sam Darnold if he's available. Trevor Lawrence if he's available. I think all those guys are perfectly reasonable. And I do think some of those guys are available. If you really need to dig deep, there are other guys we could discuss, but am I wrong? I feel like one of those guys is probably out there. If not, I mean, you could talk me into,
What about Flacco?
Yeah.
Our boy Joe.
I feel like if you could do worse, because at the end of the day, Flacco's job is to throw a lot of passes to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
And like, you could do worse. So I give you permission if you're really in a pinch. Like if you have Josh Allen
playing the Steelers on a short week.
Yeah, exactly. So Thursday is not great. That's the worst part about Flacco is like, you don't want to have to make the, if maybe I'm trying to think of a guy, Kyler maybe, and you're like, oh, I need a backup. But no, Flacco is if you're really desperate, like,
or if you're like waiting on Mac Jones news, it's like
exactly
Flacco or Mac Jones.
Defense, this one's easy. The Patriots. I mean, my God, if they're available, like they're playing Tennessee fired. I wrote this down before they fired the fucking Brian Callahan, but I'm like, not only is Cam Ward playing horrific and just dropping passes, like holding the ball and just dropping it. Mike Vrabel revenge game. Like I am going to rank the Patriots as my number 1 defense this week. Like I really am. Yeah. Seahawks defense, it's just good. I saw in a lot of my leagues that people drop Seattle because they had injuries and they didn't look great a couple weeks ago in the injuries, but they're playing Houston. I just think that the Seahawks defensive line is so talented and they're getting healthier.
They had 7 sacks this week.
And now they play Houston. I don't care that Houston's coming off a bye. Like the Houston line's not ready for what, like, I think the Seahawks defense is a hold. Vikings are a defense that probably widely available because, they were on bye. I think they're a chaos defense. The Vikings ceiling of how many points they can score is probably higher than any of their teams because of the nature of they're just trying to get pick sixes. They're trying to get crazy plays. They're trying to turn the ball over. It's chaos. Playing the Eagles, we'll see. Obviously, Eagles' whole thing is, Hurts really is trying to not turn the ball over, but I just think the Vikings it's such a good defense to be available. I would take them. Panthers, which is not something I ever thought I'd say, but they're playing the Jets, dude, and the Jets are horrific. I can't say enough
Negative
about how
10
bad
passing yards.
Dude, Justin Fields is, and Fields will probably be better going forward because the Broncos are weirdly good at limiting rushing quarterbacks to not running between, they've just really been good at it, but I never thought I'd say stream the Panthers. But the other one way above the Panthers, I wish I'd said them higher, is Houston. Not great analysis. Obviously, Houston's good defense, but they're only like 45% rostered. Another team that was on a bye, it's a check because between the Texans and Vikings, those are just two high caliber defenses that aren't usually available, and people drop defenses all the time when they're on bye. So Houston is also just you might get really lucky if Houston's available this week. I would just hold them. So, and also sorry, they're playing the Seahawks, and
Houston's playing Seattle. Yeah,
that's a little scary, but I still think there's something to when you have a really high quality defense. I just do it and don't think about it. Okay. Any other waivers, any other football stuff where we hit a couple emails? We can get out of here?
Don't think so.
Okay. Emails.
Emails.
Got an email from Marissa.
Marie.
M-Bone.
Marissa really...
Right?
What?
You said Marissa?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. M-Bone.
Marissa really combined two prompts here, which was what people thought of the guy who went to the hospital and wanted credit. He got home from the hospital and then slept 10 hours and woke up and Thursday Night Football started. He wanted to bench his guys. He wanted to change his lineup. And also he wanted stories about labor. And what husbands were doing during labor.
Right.
So anyway, Marissa emails in and said, that one guy that had to go to the emergency room and couldn't set his lineup gets no sympathy from me. Picture, it's December 25th, aka Christmas, championship week. I've been in labor for 30 hours.
Ooh.
Kansas City's playing Christmas Day. I have Kansas City's defense. What do? Review, she writes this in all caps, review and set my lineup while in labor. And I end up winning my league, win my championship. And she attached pictures of the transactions for proof.
No excuses. Children. Play like a champion.
Wow. So I think that game was against the Steelers, and the Steelers look like shit.
Yeah. Once again, men are
kind
of weak.
Yeah. What did we end up deciding? I can't remember. We gave him a mulligan.
Whatever we said, I'm down. I'm like, yeah, fuck
soft
that.
on crime.
Marissa's right.
Unfortunately,
she's absolutely
I think
right.
we did give him a mulligan, but I'm sure by now they heard that and they did give him a mulligan.
No, let's rescind it. They changed it once, they'll change it back. It's an appeal.
snip, snap.
Courts change the decision all the time. We appealed this, it's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, Marissa's right. Another one here. Well, this is just from Luis. This is just our annual Misty Mountains PSA.
Elbone.
This is from Luis. He says, my breakfast, spinach, blueberries, strawberries, almond milk smoothie.
Very healthy.
Well, I guess the smoothie is spinach, blueberries, strawberries, almond milk. Wow, that is healthy.
Putting spinach in a smoothie just doesn't sound very good to me.
Well, I don't think the point is to make it good. I think the point is to get spinach in your body before your brain realizes it sucks.
That's fair. Fair.
I used to put spinach in my smoothies all the time.
And it was bad?
Well, the whole point is you like mask it with fruit and other things so it doesn't really taste that bad, but you're getting spinach.
Okay.
So Luis says, my son turns 1 on Monday and he was having a bit of a freak out, refused to calm down. My wife and I finally tried out the Misty Mountain advice DK has been saying for years, and it fucking worked.
Hell yes.
Instantly stopped flailing. My son instantly stopped flailing, looked towards where I was playing the song. A few minutes later, he was sleeping. Incredible. Thank you. This is just we just have to do this every 3 months because
love it.
Everyone's like, this doesn't apply to me. And then you have a kid and you're like, I would do anything for this child to stop crying. And you're like, that podcast said the song.
We should make it our intro music so that when parents are driving with their kids, the kid falls asleep before the episode starts.
Should we have like
Now
explicit stories in the back? Should the gap be Misty Mountains so the kids fall asleep and then they can listen?
Yeah, is it instantaneous? Does it work in 5 seconds?
But DK, wait, I don't know. DK knows.
Wait, what's the question? The pitch on
how
Misty
quickly
Mountains?
does it work?
So I would clarify that in my experience, it wasn't necessarily to make Calvin go to sleep, not my son go to sleep. It was when they are crying and freaking out, it's a soothing mechanism. It's like the humming. It's like deep guttural humming. They're like, and
no, you got to do it. Give us a little.
No, I can't remember the song. I can't remember the lyrics. It's like do 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 do. It's like very low guttural humming, which babies just can't get enough of that shit.
You guys should play that when I'm crashing out about the Giants. I'm like freaking out that Jaxson Dart got concussed.
Just turn on Misty Mountains. Just put it next to your ear.
No, but
hit the gong over and over for Heifetz.
I even tried pulling this on my friend Jaxson, who's probably listening. I picked up him up from the airport. And they flew like across the country with their, I don't even know, 7-month-old child. And they were trying to get him. And I just kind of put on the song. I was like, I wonder how this is going to go. And then he stopped. I was going to take credit, but I was like, that's kind of cool.
When you're a parent of a young baby, there's like nothing more, I don't know, like intimidating than traveling with your baby and going on a plane and stuff. So having tools at your disposal is very important.
This is one of my favorite things we talk about, because for like the people listening who don't have any kids, they're kind of like, why are they talking about this? And the people listening who have a child under 1.5 are like, how has the most important thing in my life come from this part of this
This
podcast?
is the most actually useful thing we've ever said, probably on the show.
It's not even close. Here's how your baby will stop crying. Also, pick up a Rondé Gadsden.
Right.
We should really have put that in the front. The first, here's how your baby stops crying. Brian Callahan got hurt. Here's waivers. That really should, maybe we change that in post. Anyway, I just love my favorite thing. If you guys use this, please email us. My favorite emails we get, basically bar none, are people who just say, hey, I remember you said this 6 months ago and that it wored. So email us that works for you.
All credit to Skippy. She's the one who figured it out.
Shout out Skippy.
Yeah.
A couple emails, just other labor stories, because we talked about it. And this one's from Doc Pete.
Doc Pete. P-Bone.
Doc Pete?
DP Bone, if you will. Doc Pete.
DP?
Don't
I don't think we're saying that.
DP Bone.
Jesus.
What's wrong with that?
Nope.
What's wrong with that?
Heifetz, Google it. DP.
No.
that.
Definitely not Googling that.
Yeah. Maybe not on your work computer.
Doc Pete writes,
DP?
Doc Pete writes, I'm a pediatrician, and over the years I have attended many baby deliveries. And a surprisingly common occurrence that I've seen is parents coming to the birthing floor with the pregnant mom walking and carrying her overnight bag, while the dad has, on a wheelchair, a 40-inch flat screen TV and his PS5 or Xbox or something, gaming system. Headset, everything. And the nurses tell us that the dad has been gaming all night with his friends, waiting to get to the birthing floor.
Wait, this was a one-time thing, or he sees it a lot?
The quote he said was a surprisingly common occurrence.
Wow. What the hell?
Men, are you okay?
No. Women, how are these women allowing their husbands to do this?
So it's not the men's fault, Greg.
Look, we're just being who we are.
Yeah,
we want to play video
shame
games.
on all those pregnant wives who let their husbands bring the PS5s. How dare they?
Oh my God.
I'm actually
Craig's
shocked that was allowed, because I mean, like, sure, like they probably ask, hey, can I bring the PS5? But you're saying yes? Why would you say yes?
God, I'm gonna, if you want to call me a soy boy beta,
I'm gonna go ahead and blame the dads on
I'm
this
gonna go out on a limb and say, who the fuck thinks it's okay to bring a PS5 and a fucking TV? Also, why is she carrying the bag?
I love that there's a 40-inch flat screen on the fucking wheelchair.
He has a wheelchair for the TV. She's carrying the bag.
Oh, that's funny.
Craig's lucky Liz doesn't listen to the show.
I mean, it's obviously dumb as hell by these men doing this, but I just don't understand how it was approved. I'm confused by that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Good question.
Like, how was that approved? Because it has to be approved.
I think the fact that men have the urge to play video games while their wives are giving birth, and we're like, well, did they get approval? It's just men are just boys that got
at a certain point, if the dog keeps shitting in the house, it starts out, it's eventually it's hey, it's on you. You're allowed this to happen.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking about it's a boy. You want to cut the umbilical cord? He's like, I'm playing the Ghost of Tsushima sequel, hun. Calm down.
That makes me upset.
You guys don't know what that is, but it's fine.
No, I know it's a video game.
It's good.
These are cool wives. I gotta say.
I was gonna say, I'm just man, I should try to get away with more stuff. That's wild.
That's kind of unbelievable. That's a common occurrence.
I didn't know you could do that.
What would happen, you guys, if this happened? If I brought my Xbox with me and a TV into the room, I'm trying to think about what would happen.
Again, I think I would immediately go to Jackie and be like, how did you allow this? Why did you allow this?
Well, I think she would actually cut my dick off. I think that would genuinely.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. I think she'd grab the sharpest thing in arms.
There's a lot of scalpels in the room at the moment.
My point is you couldn't get the TV in the damn car without your partner being like, you think you're bringing that? I don't know how they actually got it to the.
You know what's funny? They're
hospital.
Greg's putting it on the women.
I'm
do
not
think
putting it on the
ridiculous.
women.
Well,
God, you guys.
we got a lot of stories too that are like, it's
He's
funny.
not blaming the women, but he's got a point here. How did he even get to that point? How about this? Maybe be interested in having a kid. How about that?
You know what's funny though? I wonder
weirdos.
if I wonder if the answer is yeah. Can you imagine if he was sitting there talking to me the whole time and he's telling me how he's nervous? I'm like, yeah, just sit there, honey, and shut the fuck up. I wonder if they're almost thrilled that he's going to just sit there.
Well,
and be calm.
that was actually I got one tweet from somebody who pointed out, and this was a woman recounting her labor and birth or whatever, and she said essentially the same thing. She just didn't want her husband to bug her, so she told him to go on his phone. Which
That's incredible.
I think it is
whatever
naive to
the
think
woman
that
wants.
The wives are not in control of the situation.
Control.
They are allowing.
Is it too much to
that.
ask for the man to be a little interested in helping out with the fucking
in
birth?
defense, he's clearly a little interested. He showed up. He's a little interested. It's exactly
you know what? That's
how I
all it
describe
is in life is showing up and
Yeah,
playing video
that's
games.
90%. If anything, he's a lot interested.
Dude, she'll get the wheelchair on the way out. What's the big
Yeah.
deal?
Will she? How are you going to get that fucking TV out?
She's walking out with the kid, and he's like got the TV on the. Oh my god, that's so the. Oh, I can't find it there. Oh yeah, here I got it. This one's also from Daniel, similar-ish, not with the thing, but he was talking about like I won't read the whole thing, but he's basically just like they were doing the labor and they had to go to a C-section, and he walks in and they let him go in, and he takes one peek over and he sees the surgery. And he like immediately like almost passes out. And a nurse grabs him and is like, "Here you go, honey," and puts him in a chair. And then his wife, they were trying to talk to him. He basically is like, "I was getting medical attention during my wife's fucking C-section. I've never felt like it was."
I think that's pretty common. It's honestly pretty common.
I don't mean to make light of it. Obviously, his point. He was making light of it too, but his point was like, it's seeing that person, being surgery.
It's a very intense situation. You're in a freaking surgery room and shit's happening. It's crazy.
Speaking, email me. These are, if you're comfortable, you wouldn't email if you're not. Email us at Ringer Fantasy Football. These people are thrilled to share these.
Check with your wife to make sure we can read it.
No, she's fine. Just play the video games and send it in. Put her name put her social security, put everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Ronak. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you to everyone who didn't bring their gaming console to their children being born. Shout out to women for dealing with men. That probably sucks. Sorry about that. And thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Why not?
Sure.
I feel like I haven't really hit him before.
No.
I was trying to think of things that you could like music you could play in the labor room to calm people down. I don't know if Mozart is really the vibe you're going for, but I was thinking of classical music and yeah.
Well, you could kind of two birds, one stone it. If you want to kind of capture that guttural Misty Mountains vibe, you just play Halo out loud. And then you get the
oh, that transports me back.
That's nice.
Wait.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's sick. Do you think babies would calm down with the Halo soundtrack?
Fuck, that's
Dude,
sick.
I love the Halo soundtrack. The Halo
Running
soundtrack.
riot.
Dude, you see that video of the guy just being like, Slayer. It's like kill-tacular, kill apocalypse, kill Ninjaro.
Damn, you saying Slayer. Kinda took me
Slayer.
back. Yeah.
Slayer.
Running riot.
It's that I actually
dude. Craig, I think I've mentioned this before, but you remember the Ghost, the vehicle? It was like a little motorcycle thing that flies around. It sounds just like all electric cars now.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're right. They all just sound like the Ghost.
They used the Ghost noise for all electric cars
Hold on.
now. It's like,
do we all love Halo and have never talked about this?
oh, we've talked about it a little bit.
Halo is my favorite thing I've ever done.
Halo is like the only video game that I really remember playing a lot and like loving.
I only played at my friend's house. My parents like never really were into allowing us to have like shooter games growing up.
That was I mean, not for the same well, I had a funny experience where my mom was like, there's no way you can have Grand Theft Auto, but didn't. So then we got Saints Row because I don't think Saints Row was basically an entire franchise, a video game built on parents who didn't want to give their kids GTA, but didn't know Saints Row was a knockoff of Grand Theft Auto. So it was kind of like worse and weirder. So we got that. But Halo 2 was like the best. I mean, honestly, probably I peaked. It was just like playing Halo 2 on Xbox Live after school.
Game.
You peaked?
Yeah,
Phrasing.
I think so. Probably. to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was a great game. I've told this story before on the pod, but like we used to put like the cardboard thing
cardboard
on
on
the
the-
TV.
so you
That's
can't
necessary
screen
though, because like it was
Yeah.
one of those where obviously there's blatant cheating, but there's also the thing you couldn't like not see anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's necessary.
Good old days.
What was your move? Could you go sniper, or were you one of those people, or
I was rocket launcher.
well,
Love
everyone's
the rocket launcher. Fucking
Rocket
rocket
launcher's
launcher,
awesome.
man.
So did you play Halo 1, DK?
Yeah, mainly.
You never saw the battle rifle, did you?
Battle rifle?
know.
I don't know.
After your time.
I think I did play Halo 2, but I definitely like cut my teeth playing Halo 1.
I was never like I didn't play a ton of video games, so I was never that. The only video game I was ever really good at was like Super Smash Bros. So when I played Halo with my friends, it always kind of
It's
sucked.
like fucking annoying
It
because you
always
just get
sucked
killed
because
all the
like
time.
everybody else was so good that I
Yeah.
would just be like the dead duck getting sniped left and right.
I didn't have a GameCube. I didn't have a Nintendo, so that's how I felt going to college. Was because I feel like Halo, the game that I think is probably was the most prevalent in college at the time was definitely Super Smash Brothers, and I feel like that was also a game that I could participate and try to beat Kirby and just not die first.
Yeah, you just float.
People save you. It's like Survivor. People would save you for last because they're like, I'll definitely beat him. But like this curve of trying to get good enough in college to someone that has been playing forever is impossible.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just hard. Yeah. I was pretty good at Super Smash, not the best at Halo or like Call of Duty. I've played less than 10, 15 times in my life. It's like, it's no point. I'll get destroyed.
But Call of Duty, it's funny how quick I feel myself so left in the dust in all these games. Like even Madden, I can tell I'm a specific era of age where I'm like, why would I want to why would I want to play people online? Ultimate Team? I'm like, ugh. Like I feel like unnerved by the idea of like setting up an Ultimate Team. And I feel like kids younger, it's like all they do. And I'm like, I want to disconnect from this entirely from the internet.
I want to play Call of Duty just for the historical lessons that you learn. Like I don't know, what's the version called, campaigning or something like that, where you don't play you're not like playing online or whatever. You're just actually
You're
playing
doing
the
Saving
game.
Private Ryan shit,
Imagine
yeah.
that you're actually playing the game.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
All
Like
right.
the World War II one looks great.
One more time, Craig. Do it one more time.
What?
The Halo noise.
Oh.
Goodbye, everyone. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.